So we're at the Talisay Yacht Club. Peter is the Commodore, and I'm a hanger-on who helps in when he can. And we're actually trying to build something new here, create something that's quite new. But first of all, we just have to step back a little bit and talk about the relationship that the yacht club has built with the municipality, which has been a bit off and on again, depending on the admin, I believe.
Actually, it's just a matter of time. When we first started here, everybody thought that it was just a joke. I mean, I came from Manila Yacht Club, and they thought that the idea of having something on the lake was just crazy,
Yeah.
not really thinking that there are yacht clubs all over lakes all over the world, right?
Yeah.
We've proven that to be wrong, because we now have the largest sailing fleet in the country, one of the largest sailing fleets in the country, most active because we are so close. But the local, and the same thing was with the local side, is that even the local people, our employees, we offered sailing for kids in the beginning, and everybody was like, "So that don't bother, don't pay attention to that. That's just playing. You're not gonna see anything coming out of that." And that has been proven wrong, because it started with our employees starting to make money from teaching sailing, and they got jobs where and they were able to go abroad, because they learned a lot. And so at that point, I think that's when the local perception began to change, and eventually that local perception in our little community reached all the way more to the municipality level. And when we started getting the kids involved, and the kids of the people who were in the government started seeing development of their kids, or development of the kids that were involved in the sailing program, they realized, wow, these kids are not like they used to be. They have they've developed much more quickly, and they're much more sure of themselves. They are more responsible than they used to be. They're not so into their phones now. They're much more into a much broader real life experience.
Yeah.
And
Many of them are becoming instructors as
and
well.
so actually, yes, and the kids now, even the kids are have become instructors, yes, and they are helping their own family a little bit with their,
Well, helping their own barangay.
Yes,
Because we've
barangay.
got two main barangay that are involved. Santa Maria, which is the club is located at, but also barangay Aya. And also we are getting people in the other barangays along here. There are
Yes.
about 10,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
About 10 barangays. And they're noticing that there are sailboats out on the lake all the time. And they're asking the kids that are coming sailing with us, hey, how do you get involved in this? Right?
Yes. Especially now in the summer.
Yeah.
So we're expecting that this program is going to be expanding exponentially as the crowd grows. We'll be seeing more, and we do concentrate, for example, on the schools. So the schools in the beginning had the idea that, sailing is some kind of like it, it's playing. But when they realize how complicated the situation, like the sailing is, and they see the development of the kids in the sailing, it's like, wait a minute, no, this isn't just playing.
It's
this
personality
is, yes,
development,
yeah.
it's skills development, and it's development of maturity
Yes.
and decision making.
Yes.
Like you have to be good at all of these, or the lake will spank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So and we've seen that with our kids.
Yes,
And we're now using the local kids to train adults and to train other kids. The program for the rest of this year is to build them up to be a set of coaches with broad experience.
And and this has now led them also to be a part of the Philippine sailing team, which also then opens the door for the Southeast Asian Games. It opens the door for going abroad and getting more recognition,
and also
for the country as well.
Also travel within the Philippines.
Yes.
Like we just recently had a small group go to Manila for the national championships.
Right.
Which
and soon
all the major yacht clubs sent representative groups.
Right. And the next one will probably be in Puerto Galera, and then we had the one here where other clubs came here. So that's all moving around.
And also there's been the PSA. PSA stands for
Philippine Sailing Association.
And it's the peak body for sailing in the Philippines. They've got an initiative now to develop the grassroots, and the first weekend where it has been run was run here at this yacht club, and we had people from Puerto Galera. Which other clubs?
We had Subic.
Subic Sailing.
And also
from
Albay.
Oh, Albay. Of course. So that's from the top and bottom of Luzon. And these are kids who are meeting each other and sharing experience and competing. And it's a really, really wholesome, nice thing. Like you say, they're not so focused on the phones anymore. They've got their heads out, they're looking at the lake and saying, oh, look what the wind is doing. The wind is doing this, it's going to be good for sailing. Let's go sailing. So that's really great. So the reason that we're training the kids to be coaches is that for the past 2 years, another foreigner and I have been running these sailing classes, and to run them for 12 to 20 maybe kids is really difficult for two people to do. But now the kids are getting to the point where they're teaching each other. So the more experienced kids who have been joining the racing and so on have the skills and the Tagalog to talk to the new sailors and help bring them up to speed. So before, we couldn't really expand it. We couldn't just say to some of the schools, please come and we'll teach your 20 people from your school sailing, because there were only really 2 or 5 of us who could teach. But now it's looking like we're going to have 10 more who can teach and teach well. So it means the whole thing can grow very nicely and build a grassroots here. I think we have 14 opti dinghies, which are the international dinghies that's used for teaching people to sail and for teaching people who are going to compete internationally. They start off in the little optis. And we've got 14 optis at the moment, and we've got at least that number of sailors for our days, and that's just from 2 barangay here. So once the other 10 are, the other 8 or 10 are involved, we're looking at 7 boats per barangay, so that's 70 boats. It's impossible to imagine, but it's also possible because of other things we're likely to be doing. So we could have 40, 70 boats sailing here, we think, if we can keep the momentum going. And we've worked out ways to finance it relatively cheaply.
Because a lot of the stuff is done here, and we have seen there's corporate investment, corporate interest in promoting this from a social responsibility side of things.
I've had some interest from the Netherlands as well. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. So, but we want local support as well. In the next, or the new thing that we're starting to do in the next few weeks, is to start a boat building group here. That they will actually build the Optimist boats, and that means that these teenagers will become skilled boat builders. Right?
And I think that that's, we're talking about places from the Netherlands or whatever. With what we've done here, we've already seen that even the local, the Talisay government has already helped us with, because they've seen the development of their own kids.
They've also changed the town logo, haven't they?
Yes, they've changed the town logo so that there's actually sailboats in the town logo, because Talisay is now becoming a major area for sailing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Maybe
tourism,
maybe not major yet,
no, but it's getting there.
A year or two.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah. So we're hoping that we can start building very simple versions of the International Optimist thingy. And the local kids will do that. By kids, I mean 14 to 18 years old, maybe, during the holiday season, and when they have other free time. And that means that the area is kind of upskilled rather than just depending on things that are imported from overseas. And it also means there starts to be a cheaper supply of boats for the Philippines. You know, instead of importing something for 2,000 US or 3,000 US or 4,000 US, we can probably build it here for maybe about 400 US. You know, sort of around 12% of the cost. The other thing is we do have an industrial sewing machine, and I run a sail-making company, and we can start teaching the kids how to make sails as well for the same boats, for the International Optimists. So we hope that in the next year, 2 years, we'll start to see young people who are really bright, smart kids that might never get to college, you know, because of the family situation, that there will be something that is technically engaging and interesting happening here that they can build expertise in, you know, which changes people's lives literally. And if we have lots of kids sailing and teaching here, if we have lots of international opti sailing here as well, if we have sail making and boat building, Talisay becomes something different.
And so it's contributing to the economy of Batangas, and contributing to the economy of Talisay, and of course the country as well.
And in high value goods. You know, so you know, so
which are not going to be replaced by AI.
Absolutely. Yeah. When people actually have to do work by hand, what is AI going to do?
So,
yep.
okay. Thank you very much.
Whatever.